Alright team, it's lovely to have you guys join me on this fine evening. I think it's the 27th. Let me check on my iPad. It's Monday the 29th of July, 20 to 10 in the evening. And you've just caught me. I'm about to do my, well, I'm going to try and do it every other day. At least, maybe every day, my mobility routine, which I'm going to put a timer on, do each exercise for 1.5 minutes. Just hold myself in these certain positions, because the more research I do online, it's becoming increasingly important amongst lots of athletes, whether you're at grassroots level, whether you're at an elite level, but to keep up a good mobility routine so you can keep strong hips and put yourself in a position to not develop imbalances in your muscles. So for example, what I sometimes find, and what the person told me at the running shop when they did a gait analysis on me, is that I think my tibia and my femur slightly inwardly rotate. don't take my word for that, but I think that's something along the lines of what they said, which means that my knees slightly rotate inwards, which affects my squat and affects my ability to utilise my glute medius. So I'm having to do exercises to help strengthen my glute medius, and sometimes I feel slight imbalances, like my right leg sometimes feels a bit longer than my left, so I have to increase the height of my left leg by putting an insole in it. And then I've got generally tight hip flexors and glutes, so I'm going to be doing a mobility routine now, which I'm going to show you and do a little voice over, if that makes sense. You may wish to consider to implement some of these exercises into your own mobility routine. FYI, you will need quite a large space to do this. I wouldn't do this in the lounge because there's a high risk you will break something. The first stretch you're seeing here is for my hip flexors, so I do this for around 1.5 minutes on either side. And it's to help open out my hips, because I find they feel very tight, especially in the bottom portion of a squat position. So I recommend you guys do this one, and it will help to, if you do this over time, it will help to alleviate that hip flexor tightness, because I get a little bit of pain with it. And then here you're seeing me get into position for it, but at the bottom of a squat, I push out my quads and my knees with my elbows, and then I make my thoracic spine very tight by pulling my shoulder blades back to get a really good posture in that bottom of the squat position. Then this one here, and by the way, that previous exercise is just to promote really good squat form, and also helps with hip flexibility. Here, this one looks a little bit strange, but I'm really stretching out my latissimus dorsi, and I'm also stretching out something called the psoas major. I'll put a little image of it on the screen for you, because I find I feel a lot of activation on my right kind of latissimus dorsi erectors on my right side. I'm just a bit more dominant on my right, so I have to do a lot of hamstring stretching, because I don't feel my right hamstring activate as much as my left. And then here you're seeing a glute medius / glute maximus exercise, where you put your knee in front of you. Eventually I'm going to try and get my leg extended the whole way back, fully lengthened, and then have my knee and my foot at a 90-degree angle, the one in front of me, so I can get a really big stretch in my glute. But I'm very tight again round there. Then you can see here with the band, what I'm doing is I'm keeping my arms straight, but I'm feeling a stretch in my pecs and the like front anterior delt. And what this is helping to do again is to really stretch out the pec muscles, so you don't get into that rounded shoulder position like people generally do if they work at an office desk. Here I'm stretching out my ankles to really improve on my plantar flexion. And plantar flexion basically means your ability to range of motion of pointing the toes. And then here what I'm doing is I'm squeezing my butt cheeks together and pushing my knees out to help improve my squat form and utilise my glutes during a typical squat. Nearly 10:15 in the evening, and for those of you who are interested, when I do my stretching routine, I like to try and do two things at the same time. So usually I do my daily, like listening to a podcast or something. So I'm currently going through something called the Bible Project, and they do discussions on major topics that people love to question in the Christian faith. So for example, with this one, they're talking about Did Jesus really think he was the Son of God? Or maybe it was just God, how they titled it. But it's very interesting. They talk about the history of the Bible, how it was written, the authenticity of it, how it's reliable compared to other historical sources. I highly recommend you check it out, because there are a lot of questions that I had that have been answered by these guys, and there's so much available on the internet, especially on YouTube. I recommend a guy called Rabbi Zacharias as well. You're probably wondering though, where on earth is all the food, Albert? This is a full day of eating. I'm going to be showing you what I normally eat across a full day, but I'm starting in the evening. So I'm going to show you what Mum has cooked for dinner, and then I'm going to show you my meals throughout a whole typical day. This video may span across a few days though. Here we go. I have just served myself up my dinner. I always become French when I talk about my dinner. Not sure why. For my dinner, high protein, moderate carb, and something a little bit saucy. I'm looking at it right now. I'm going to have to be quite quick because there's a lot of flies in here. For the higher protein bit, I have got chicken breast, but it's been done in like a creamier sauce here. And there's some mushrooms with that. I've just got the chicken breast out of it. It's come out of this packet. Mum did like a creme fraiche. I don't think it was cheesy. It's just like a creme fraiche sauce with some added mushroom soup to it, I think. And she's made it quite thick with the creme fraiche. Then just here, you would have seen a bit in the montage. There's vegetables, broccoli, green beans, stir fry mix, 320 grams, so 4 portions of my 5 a day. I get approximately 6 to 7 of my 5 a day every day. White potato here, and then here, Mum has cooked. All credit to my mum. Oh dear, there's a spider on my shirt. Ah! Whoa! Bang! Sorry, I killed a spider. I don't think I did. Here, I've got corn mince, onion. There's a marrow under there, and Mum's put some mozzarella cheese on top. Marrow per 100 grams, 24 calories. Corn per 100 grams, 100 calories. And then the cheese mozzarella, I believe it's about 250 to 300 calories per 100 grams. And there's only a little bit on top, so this is very low calorie. And I am going to do a live taste test for you. Let me just get you in focus. Here's a bit. And here's a bit of the mince. Hello, guys. Oh. Just put my lip doing that. It's Tuesday, the 30th of July. I've just come back from football training, which I was doing this evening for the team I do fitness for, and where my personal training setup is going to be. The team is called Horsham Crusaders FC. The lads at training were saying that they wanted to actually be shouted out as a team rather than me just saying football team. Sorry about that, team. The camera just died that I'm currently using over here, and I'm going to have to let the battery charge for a little while. So I'm just going to finish off this clip with this phone, and then I'm going to move back to the camera. But I just wanted to do a quick explanation about fat loss very briefly. I've actually got a full in-depth video about it, which I'll chuck up in a card in the top right hand of the screen for you. So go and watch that if you want to learn about it in depth, because I'm just going to give an overview of what I'm going to explain here. It's all to do with refeed days and fat loss, and how increasing calories can actually help with your fat loss and will benefit you in the long run to maintain muscle mass and help you to lose more body fat, improve your body composition rather than just purely losing weight and seeing the number on the scale go down. I was just explaining this to one of the lads after football training. I'll chuck up a screenshot of a video from a woman I follow who likes to do cheat days. I just find cheat days quite interesting. And the whole thing with cheat days, personally for me, from a nutritionist point of view, I don't recommend them like full-on binge days, just because it doesn't promote a healthy relationship with food. And having all that intake in one day, there isn't much research if you were to do binge days once per week for a long period of time. There isn't much research if there's going to be a negative effect, but I personally just don't like doing them. Refeed days, though, on the other hand, are really beneficial, and sometimes, like with this woman here, you saw her weight 3 days post-cheat go down by 0.2 of a pound compared to her weight before the cheat day. And she consumed 9,000 calories on this cheat day. You might be wondering, how on earth does that work? And it's all to do with when you're dieting. Say if you maintain 2,000 calories per day, and then you drop your calories to 1,500 to start with the diet, you'll see your body weight significantly reduce in the first two, maybe couple of weeks, by say 3 pounds the first week, 3 pounds the second week. Then by the third week, it'll probably go to about 1 pound of fat loss, and then maybe the fourth week you see your weight loss plateau, so you just maintain your weight. Then in a lot of cases, people try to drop their calories again, or would increase their cardiovascular activity significantly, and they'll find that they drop a little bit more weight, but then they quickly plateau again. Then they're going into a bit of a cycle of trying to decrease calories a lot, increase cardiovascular activity. Their well-being becomes very bad, and they're not able to stick to the diet, so they jump back to where they were, and then they spike up in body weight again. But what you need to do when you hit this weight loss plateau is take 1 day, so say you've plateaued after this 7 days of dieting across the week. Let's say you're eating 1,500 calories. Take 1 day, say on the Sunday, after 6 days in the week, take the Sunday to increase your calories by 500-600 to 2,000 to 2,100. Get that spike in calories, because your body, essentially when it's dieting, is being starved every day of nutrients. So the endocrine system, where hormones are produced, is going to be working less and less efficiently. So when you hit a weight loss plateau, the fat-burning hormone leptin is not going to be being produced by the endocrine system very efficiently. So this increase in calories for 1 day will help kickstart the body again into producing hormones, including leptin, the fat-burning hormone, at normal levels. And then you'll find that you'll go back to the calories the day after that you were on, and then you'll find after another 7 days that you might actually lose more weight than you expected, like another 2 pounds. You may only lose a pound, then that's when you can decrease calories again by say 50 per day. And just keep experimenting with it, but I do definitely recommend refeed days in the beginning of a diet every 2 weeks, then as you get deeper into a diet, once per week, so you can really accelerate your fat loss, maintain muscle mass, maintain performance in the gym, and then improve your body composition, not just see the number on the weighing scale go down. Time for some more food. It's Wednesday the 31st of July, and I have somebody who would like to say hello to you first. Hello. Alright, darling. Bit of a tired girl. I'm just about to go and do some more kids coaching at the sport and art camp I work at during the holidays, combined with personal training and swim teaching. And this happened to my splint yesterday with the kids coaching, because anything that can be drawn on is usually sabotaged with whiteboard pens. But I'm going to be showing you what I'm having food-wise before I go, and also what food I'm going to take with me. So the food I'm going to take with me, I'm going to have... I'm not a particular fan of bananas. Anybody out there fan of bananas? I quite like blending them up, but not having them on their own. We have a red and green apple. I'm not a particular fan of green apples either. And then I'm going to be taking with me a pack of cheese and onion ridge crisps. These are just I think from Tesco's own version. 143 calories per pack of this. You get barely any crisps in a pack, but that's okay. I'm going to be taking those two with me. Then in here now, I want something a bit higher protein, so I'm going to have one of these light and free raspberry yogurts. That's my sister's a milkshake, by the way. It's a protein shake. I've not tried it before. I'm going to have to get her review on that. I may take a Pepsi Max, I think, with me to sport and art camp. Has a bit of caffeine. With this raspberry yogurt, I'm going to chuck on top something. But before that, if you want some double A apparel, I'll leave a link in the YouTube description, and I'll put the HTML on the screen. No. I'll put the web address I meant on the screen for you, not HTML, of where you can get it from if you'd like to get some. You can get it in different colours as well. I know mates who have got red shirts with double A on it, blue shirts. I like the black ones. Black and white is for me. And I've got the Bible verse on the back. With the raspberry yogurt, I'm going to put on... I'm actually going to finish this light and free Greek yogurt, put it on top of that. And I'm going to have a couple of chocolate buttons because I really fancy some. But I'm going to dip in the light and free Greek yogurts. I'm going to dip some corn thins, and I think I may have one more thing which I'll show you when I come to have it. Take one of the corn thins, break it over a surface, dip into the yogurt, let me show you, and then consume it. It's good. Yeah, approximately 15 grams of protein in the yogurts combined together. I'm just off to work now. It's about 20 minutes later, and I'm going to be having one of these hobnob bars as I'm walking to work. I'll see you later on for more food. What the heck is that drink? Pause the video, let me know your guesses. I'll have a look at them in the YouTube comment section below. Pause it now, and then I'm going to tell you. At the top, I'm not sure why it hasn't merged together, but it's orange squash. This is fizzy water in the glass. And then there are summer fruits at the bottom. I don't know why the summer fruits and the orange squash has separated like that. But I nearly forgot to... I'm so sorry, Diana. I'm really sorry. I nearly forgot to show you my little snack meal that I'm having at 10 to 6 before training. I finished at 5 o'clock at the coaching place. And I walked home. And now I'm just getting ready for personal training at 6:35. But I had to come home first so I could set all the equipment up and stuff. But here I have got, if you're an old subscriber, you should know what this is already. I've got 100 grams of couscous wet up dry, 250 grams of tomatoes, 150 grams of chicken tikka from Tesco value section. And then I've topped it off with ketchup. I'm going to put some ginger on it. And then out of here, I'm going to get some garlic salt. And I'm going to put some chili powder on it. Yeah, it's not pronounced powder, it's pronounced powder. I definitely recommend this meal for those of you who are trying to lose weight at the moment and they want to still eat high volume foods, because it tastes very nice and it's only 522 calories. I'm going to have this, and then I'll see you in the next clip. I'm just finishing off this video. It's about 10:15 in the evening. I'm practicing some double unders because I haven't done it for a very long time. Since I did my finger, I'm having a little bit of left knee pain at the moment, so I'm being a bit careful. It's fine, but I'm a bit out of breath. Just because, if any of you have any tips for double unders, let me know, because I'm quite heavy-footed when I land with every double under I do. And I'm struggling to do it for like long repetitions, so I'm doing 30 in a row at the moment, and for like a set. But I want to eventually build up to be able to do like 50 in a row and then 100 in a row, because you have to do that in some workouts. But it's good to be doing them again. I'm looking forward to be able to doing some more handstand stuff eventually, because my finger is feeling very strong and the swelling definitely has gone down. Just want to say thank you very much for tuning into this episode. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next Road to the Games episode. If you're interested in any nutrition coaching, with my online customised nutrition plans and workout plans, let me know by sending me an email. It's aafitness01@gmail.com. It's on the screen and in the YouTube description. Lovely to have you. I'll see you in my next Road to the Games episode.